Eyes are on what they'll do this offseason at quarterback. To say it's been a tough run of quarterback play for the Jets would be an understatement. Each of the last 8 seasons, the Jets have ranked 26 or worse in total QBR as a team. That stinks. The Jets' last quarterback to rank top 10 in the league in total QBR was Ryan Fitzpatrick. That was back in 2015. Although the Jets just signed Geno Smith, Mel thinks there's still help on the way. He has him taking quarterback Ty Simpson out of Alabama at number 16. Adam, what are you hearing, though, about the Jets' plan at quarterback?
Look, that's always going to be a possibility, Laura, but I think the people around the league seem to think that the Jets will take a quarterback later on, especially with the idea that they have 3 first-round picks next year in the quarterback-rich draft of 2027. That'll be a difficult decision if and when Ty Simpson happens to be there at pick 16, but I think a lot of people believe the Jets need to build up their roster. They have a lot of holes they need to address, and right now the best way to do that would be a pick not on a quarterback. But Ty Simpson is going to be awfully tempting for this New York franchise when its turn rolls around at 16.
Yeah, if you ask Dan, they should just keep drafting quarterbacks over and over again over as many years as it takes to get a quarterback that sticks. But specifically on Ty Simpson, I know you're a fan of his. One of the knocks on him that people have is the lack of starting experience. There's a lot of reasons why it happened that way. But do you think that's a big enough issue to say, hey, no, don't draft him that high?
I don't. This is probably the thing that I am most interested in talking about leading up to the draft with everybody, because I believe it really should be quality over quantity. We've seen a lot of guys drafted in the NFL that had a tremendous amount of college starts. Some guys have become really good players. Some guys have just become okay. Some guys have been bad. So it's not just, oh, you've got all the necessary starts, and that means that you're going to be good. Quality over quantity, and his tape is so good from a quality perspective. I also think this, and this is what I kind of wanted to talk to with Lewis, and again, I want to talk to everybody about this specifically, is, Lou, do you think we have to maybe evaluate the starts that these quarterbacks, and maybe other guys too, but quarterbacks get differently in this college NIL era, right? Because certain quarterbacks are getting paid a certain amount of money, and that means that's the guy that's going to start for this school because of that, and that means the starter has got to go elsewhere. Is that a valid discussion to be had about why guys may have a certain amount of starts?
Yeah, I think it's part of it. I think, yeah, you definitely have to do some digging as to why the depth charts play out the way they do, why certain guys don't get on the field. Is it something that kind of transcends the actual meritocracy that is supposed to exist in sports, or is it kind of partly business? I think now with the way NIL has taken off, obviously that's going to be a part of it for sure. Look, I think with Ty, look, I've had this discussion with numerous different people. Okay, the GMs are always trying to mitigate risk, right? They're trying to reduce the risk of being wrong. And one of the data points that they point to the most is number of starts. It's like the number of starts, hand size, height, weight, lower body composition, all these things that are kind of like objective statistics that they can then go back to and say, this is why I took a guy, this is why I didn't take a guy. And whenever I hear that really being thrown out there about a player, I go, well, then why the hell do we watch guys at all? Why don't we just get to the combine, measure them all, and then let them throw, and don't even take into account what they do and what the quality of their tape looks like? Because look, I'm with you on Ty Simpson. His tape, the quality of his tape, whether it be from under center, from the gun, 3-step, 5-step, play action, move the pocket, layered throws, timing throws on the outside, swing passes, halfback wides, Texas, I mean, all those kinds of things, running when he needs to, getting hit in the face, having no running game, and continuing to stand in there and fire. I'm going, well, what does all that count for?
Yeah.
What is all that? I mean, how does that look to you? You know, because, and I guess it would be nice if he had 30 starts instead of 15.
Sure.
I just don't think he's going to last very long. And I think if he goes to the right place, Dan, and he's to be able to sit behind a good veteran quarterback with a great offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, there's going to be some people who really regret not taking him.
That's kind of, I feel. Like, I truly feel the quality of his tape is very much so on par with the guy who's going to be the #1 pick, or presumptively Fernando Mendoza in Mendoza out of Indiana. We put up some of the stats of his production in that play-action world where you're throwing the ball down the field, which is kind of what we're seeing a lot in the NFL right now. Right. 6 years ago, it was a ton of RPO and space. Now it's, let's get back under center, let's go play action, let's go chunk. And it does make me ask the question because of the college football world. Okay, well, why was Jalen Milroe the starter at Alabama 2 years ago? And then why is Alabama so dead set on going to Austin Mack? And then where does that leave a guy that some people are like, man, this guy's a really good player? And so I just think that focusing on he doesn't have enough starts. To Lewis's point, it's such a small reason why not to draft the player.
It's a lot more complicated than that, right? It was a different offensive coordinator. Jalen Milroe had Tommy Rees as his OC. I think they really liked Milroe's legs and what that brought to that specific offense, that skill group. That factored in a lot.
Does that take 5, 6, 7 starts away from him where he would have been at 22?
Probably, yeah. I think there's some reality to that. You have to look at some of the college football story in all of this to really get the full picture. Adam, I know you wanted to add on some of this. I'm also curious, are you hearing other teams talk about Ty Simpson and being interested outside of a lot of this conversation around the Jets?
Well, the one thing that's become obvious in talking to multiple front offices in recent weeks is that they believe that Ty Simpson will squarely be a first-round pick. And the whole question is, where is he going to go in round 1? I know a lot of people had wondered if he would go there. Then he played well enough early on. He was going to be a high one. Then maybe people thought he would fall out. I think it's become obvious in talking to these front offices in recent weeks that it does sound like he is absolutely expected to be a first-round pick, and now we wait to see where he goes. Mel's got him to the Jets at 16. That wouldn't be the first time the Jets have gone Alabama quarterback at 16. They did that with Joe Namath. They did that with Richard Todd. Now we wait to see if they do it with Ty Simpson as well.
A lot of the conversation around the lack of starts, I get it. But one number that I think really tells the story about who he is as a quarterback, 5 interceptions in 523 attempts, 21 touchdowns, 1 interception in his first 9 games last season. This guy set an Alabama record for the lowest interception percentage. That's pretty impressive. 2
of those interceptions were on 4th down.
Yeah, good point. Exactly. It would have been even better. He still set the Alabama record. That's the type of quarterback that he was. All right, this is interesting. The Patriots will have to fill a big hole in their offense from Stephon Diggs, who's still an unsigned free agent. Last season, Diggs had over 1,000 yards receiving. The next 3 highest totals by the Patriots receivers were in the 450 to 550 range. Now, New England did add Romeo Doubs in free agency. Mel Kiper Jr. releasing his latest mock draft yesterday has wide receiver Casey Concepcion to New England out of Texas A&M. Lewis, how do you like the fit there for the Pats?
I like it a lot, Laura. They need a guy who is tough and able to run, even though that's Omar Cooper right there. But there's Casey. He's a guy who's a do-it-all type of guy who can play 3 positions, who can really, though, again, control the middle of the football field. He's one of those dudes who averaged almost 7.5 yards of yak per reception, which is just ridiculous. And he's got just tremendous open field running skills, as you see right there. So I think he fits perfectly with what they have and what they don't have.
Let's go to Baltimore, where the Ravens could get some much-needed help on the offensive line. Last season, the Ravens' tackles were great when pass blocking, but were 22nd in run block win rate. According to ESPN Analytics and NFL Next Gen stats, their guards were middle of the road in both pass and run blocking. Plus, Baltimore is going to have to replace their center, Tyler Linderbaum, who went to the Raiders as a free agent. Mel's got the Ravens taking offensive tackle Spencer Fanu at 14, a replacement for Tyler Linderbaum. A young replacement, though. He's talented. Dan, do you like this pick for Baltimore?
I do. It's a need. Fanu can kind of play anywhere inside or outside of the offensive line. The interior of the offensive line for Baltimore is a big issue. It became a weakness last year. I think Fanu's feet, his athleticism, and also remember, Declan Doyle is the new play caller in Chicago who comes from, Baltimore, who comes from Chicago. Athletic offensive line, being able to pull is going to be a necessity. It's something Fanu can do. I think this is ideal for Baltimore.
Finally, to New York, where all